So in this video I'm going to show you how to put the sky in the background. We've got the cylinder around the mountain, which is in the other video, and I'm going to apply the texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I can basically open the Hypershade, Windows, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. This is a Hypershade. We get tons of stuff going on associated with this scene. I can clean it out a little bit, edit, delete unused nodes. That should help like a little bit. That'll actually speed the scene up too. We need to generate a new Lambert here, so I can just double click on this Lambert. We don't want to use the first Lambert, the default Lambert. That is not a good idea. We want to generate a new one. So I'm going to go down to here, Lambert. I click once, it appears in the timeline. We can see here it is. I go right click, I can go to rename, and I'll call it Sky. Enter. And what's going to happen? I'm going to double click on this. I actually didn't have to double click on it. I can just come across here to the attributes section, the property editor, and if I click on this little tab next to it, it's going to break me across this create render node, and I want to generate a file node. And all I have to do is click on this little folder, like right here, and it's going to allow me to navigate to the file I want to use this sky, which is, I know where it was on the desktop. And you got this over here, but I'm just not going to bring it into view. So I'm going to go open. There it is, and I just have to look for it. There it is in the library. I'm going to middle mouse click and drag into the scene. Applies to the surface. Now remember, I have to flip the normals on this. We did this in the other video, but basically the faces have to be facing inwards. Otherwise, this texture is going to appear on the outside of it. To do that again would be under mesh display reverse, and I have to have it selected, so I would have it selected, mesh display reverse, and it's going to flip the normals inwards. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So the other thing that I would have to do is, by default, I don't think it's properly UV'd, so I'm going to go UV. This is what you're probably getting. This is what it'll look like for by default. It's not properly displaying if you look around. So you can see it's not a continuous texture. We're getting these kind of breaks. So what we need to do is cylindrical mapping. We have to apply it to it as though it was applied to a cylinder. So I can go to UV over here. I have to have modeling mode selected, not animating. So modeling mode, so click here, modeling, and I go across to UV, and I can go down to cylindrical mapping. Watch what happens. Oh, right click, I have to have it selected as an object. What we're seeing right now, the edges are blue. It has to be green, which means this is component mode. I need to have it as an object. So right click, object mode, it's green, and I go to UVs, cylindrical. There we go. And I look at it. What am I thinking? I think it should be, I'm trying to get the texture properly scaled to it. I think we're getting a little too much squash. I have to be in object mode. I'm going to go R and maybe just up a little bit so the pixels aren't being quite so stretched. And then R, scale it in. This will make the pixels tighter in the shot. I could go W. Yeah, so there's the mountain, there's the